One. Hollyhood Haley J, take two. Full disclosure for the first one. I know I've had quite a few of you ask me when this interview is coming out. So full disclosure, we had recorded this about a month or two back. What happened was the file after it Zoom had finished corrupted on me, so I couldn't bring you this ahead of Haley's opportunity at the NWA Women's World Championship. But I'm delighted to say that she has been a great sport and is back for take two. Thank you, Haley, and welcome back.
Thank you, thank you. Back at it like a crackhead. Let's make sure this one gets aired this time. No problems.
Yeah. The last thing I want to be doing is messaging you again to say, sorry, Haley, it didn't work. So I will double check everything this evening. But welcome again. So
Thank
the
you.
last time before we spoke, you were going for, as an opportunity at the NWA Women's World Title. The face says it all for those that are watching on YouTube. Didn't quite get the job done on Kenzie, but I wanted to just quickly sidetrack before we get there. There was some breaking news today from the NWA, and I'm not sure. I know you've been training, so I don't know whether you've heard the news. The
I
new,
did. I seen it. Natty.
yeah, Natty Neidhart coming to the NWA for the Crockett Cup. It's like WWE seems to be wanting to work with everybody, but that's huge for the NWA, not just for the women's division, but I feel is justified for everything they've been doing over the last couple of years to finally get a bit of recognition for the work that they've put in.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No, the girls at NWA, they've been putting in work and it's awesome that Natty's coming out there to help with, whatever she's doing. Just her being there, to be honest, automatically elevates the women's division. She's gonna, we know she's old school, so she's gonna be the locker room mom, giving all the advice and everything. And man, good luck to the girls that get to work with her. Hopefully I'm one of them. I don't know. We'll see. But man, that's awesome. It's big. That is huge, huge deal.
It is huge, and we don't know. I mean, Billy tweeted out that WWE are working with NWA now, so this maybe could be the start of what we've kind of been seeing with NXT and TNA
And
with that
TNA.
stuff. Now, we could be seeing that with the NWA. I mean, again, not just for the women, but it could be some of the guys that come down as well. This is massive for the NWA now because potentially the exposure side as well. But again, going back to what we're saying, this is really big for NWA. I don't know how else I can explain. It's massive for NWA.
It is. It's huge. It definitely shocked me when I seen it this morning. I was like, wow, hell yeah. Get it, Maddie. She's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's going to be great to see the Crockett Cup on the 17th of May. But let's go back. So, like we said, you had an opportunity with Kenzie. You say, sorry to keep bringing it up.
Okay.
Didn't quite get the job done on this occasion, but still a fantastic match from what we saw. Kenzie really is, and I know you may have to admit she's really on top of her game at the moment in the NWA. But how have you found your time with
Crushing
the
it.
NWA at the moment?
Well, I feel like I was crushing it and I got my title opportunity and I fell short, but things happen. And if there's anything about me, I love to get my lick back. So I would go back with Kenzie anytime and try again. Let me just say that. And it won't take me too many tries. So be prepared, Kinsey. But no, I've enjoyed my time at the NWA. Like I said, I like working with the girls there because they're very aggressive, very, nitty and gritty. The Page sisters, Markova, all very tough opponents. And it just brings something out of me that I'm like, oh yeah, let's go. So yeah, I'll be back. I'll be back.
Back. Well, we're looking forward to seeing you back in the NWA. We did discuss this on the last show, and I wanted to bring it up again because my good friends over at Slam Masters Wrestling obviously say
Shout out to
hi.
them.
You
Shout
do
out to them.
you do like them. John the Slam Masters, the promoter, is a really good guy with so he's helped me out a few
He's
events before.
awesome.
He is very awesome indeed. But it brings me to a question. Will we ever see Hollywood Haley J back over the UK shores anytime soon?
What kind of question is that? Do you know that I'm still an international champion?
Yes.
Maybe you forgot. Hold on. Stay, watch this. Hold on. Because I think you forgot. Okay, excuse me, two titles coming through, but this one specifically, um, my IWN International Championship. Yes, I'll be back in the UK. I'll be returning back to my second home to defend my title some more and bring it back to my real home to defend it some more. And this is my forever title. So you guys forever have to accept me in England.
Oh, I think we can do that. I think we did. That was the whole point. I was glad you brung that up because you obviously did win that championship at IWN. Glad you'll be
On
back
my
in.
debut.
Well, look at that debut
Point leave that
championship
out.
championship winner on your debut and a second title. What one's that?
This is from a promotional in Florida, Orlando. I took it off of Amber Nova. She's pretty known and stuff. So this is like her little personal title, and it's mine now. So yeah,
Two titles there. So you're Haley two belts currently
yeah, yeah.
in a lot of ways. But going back, I mean, the women's rosters over here in the UK are very stacked with some incredible talents. Some that we've seen over in America. I think Alex Windsor wrestled for Ring of Honor a couple of times. Danny Luna is in TNA. I know you may have had some run-ins or could have some run-ins at Slam Masters with Danny as well. But how have you found the women's wrestling over here when you've come over to the UK?
They're tough. When I came to the UK, my first thought was, wow, there's so much talent over here and no one knows. Like they don't have as easy opportunities as we do in America to go travel and, go everywhere. So there was a lot of girls that I met that I was just like, wow, what? You guys can't, it's not as easy for them as it was for me. And I'm obviously grateful for that. But I think about that. And Alex Wenza, you brought her up, and she is the one who like snip my champion, or not my championship run, excuse me, my winning streak. She killed my winning streak in England. And I want to run it back with her too, because it wasn't just her. She had like five people. That's when all of her minions started coming together. It all started with me. And I didn't forget that. So I definitely need to make a comeback. And I got some for Mercedes, got some for Sapphire, got some for Lizzie. I got some for every single one of those girls. Okay. Yeah.
That would be the Cutthroat Collective for those of you that don't know what Haley J is talking about. Yes, Nina Samuels, Alex Windsor, there's Yerbo, Mercedes Blaze, and Sapphire. Yes, Sapphire's actually a good friend of the channel. That could be a bit
Oh,
worrying.
is she?
Yeah, yes, funnily enough, she's been to some of our shows that we've put on. But look, going back to that, it's not really a surprise to you then that a lot of the British talent is now kind of being looked at now. Someone that you may know from Slam Masters, a man like Dries, recently had a TNA tryout. Obviously, Leon
Good for
Slater's
him.
gone over. Is it? Is oh well, let me get the words out. Is it kind of you kind of saying that people they don't get the opportunity, don't get it's not as easy for them to get the opportunity because of where we are. But are promotions in America now looking at the British market more seriously because of the talent that they've seen, perhaps like a Leon Slater who's come over to TNA and done some amazing things?
I think the people that actually got to come out here, Alex Windsor, him. There's been a couple more. I've seen Alexis out here.
Yep.
Sapphires came out here. The people who came, across the pond, they really opened the door because at Rio, everyone
Yeah.
remembers, everything. They remember them. They're like, oh, dang, they're from, over there. And I think the more people that came and got the opportunity definitely opened up a lot of eyes over here. Like, wow, there's a lot of talent across the pond. And yeah, I hope they keep coming because I want my little run in with Rio too. She's one of the best they got. I don't like Lizzie, but I'll give her credit. I want my running with her too. There's a lot of people over there. I gotta come back, or you just continue to come. Just keep coming over here. Whatever one happens first, make it happen.
We'll make it happen. And what I'm making happen right now is having a third person who was on another podcast join us, which is the lovely Fiona is popping in,
Uh-oh.
I
Knocked
believe.
up, guess who?
Yeah, she's. I've just admitted her. Here she comes. Let's wait. We can hear her. Here we go. Uh,
Oh,
oh, hello, Fiona.
sorry, I'm late
It's
slightly.
okay. It's story of my life, girl. Story of my life. It's okay.
What a
I missed
welcome
them off another
surprise.
podcast. I'm sorry.
Yes,
You're
yes.
good. Welcome, 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 welcome.
So,
Thank you for having me.
So, Fee, it's a good time to basically. I was just breaking the news, obviously, to Haley that she'd already heard about Natty coming to the NWA. So, just get your feelings on it quickly before we go back to Haley. From someone that's loved the NWA like you for so long, this must be kind of like a moment where you kind of like a proud mama at this point.
I am, but do you know what? I'm just super, super excited because I think having Natty there is going to bring loads of new eyes on the product. And that's all I've ever wanted. All I've ever wanted is for more folk to watch NWA and for it to
Oh,
grow. So for me, bringing Natty in is huge, and I could not be more excited. Like I popped when I saw that tonight. I got so excited.
me too. Me too.
Yeah, we were just talking about that before you come on, Fee. Hayley, going back when we last spoke, you were just about to embark on your potential final match at OVW. I
It
believe
was.
that is done, and you are gone from OVW. Is that right?
Yeah, why don't you bring up one more loss and see what happens? No,
Yeah, I've had a habit of bringing up losses so far this evening from the last one, so
it's
I apologize. But how was how was your whole journey at OVW?
oh man, don't get me emotional. I love OVW. OVW's home, and leaving was probably one of the hardest things that I've ever done. Everyone there had faith in me that I was gonna take my house back, and I lost, and there was a lot of crying, and I cried. People in the locker room cried. Like it was really hard. It was really hard, real hard. But
I
I'm
saw.
glad I did. Oh, go ahead. You
No,
see?
I was gonna say just you talking about people crying. I remember after your match seeing a post on social media of this a little girl who had
Yeah,
been
the little
coming.
girls. Yeah,
Yeah, and they
those
were
are my babies.
heartbroken, man. Yeah.
Those are my babies, man. Sophie, Gracie, and Bonnie. Shout out to those three. Those are my babies. And I fully believe they're at home holding OBW down for me because they are sassy. But yeah, those are my girls. That was really hard for me. I don't think it clicked for me that so many people like really, have faith in me and support me and love me. And when it comes from like the kids, I'm a mom, so it hit way harder. I was just like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh, it was hard. It was hard. But like I said, I'm glad that I have moved on from OVW because I have been there 4 years and you can't get comfortable somewhere and, get lazy. And that's exactly what I did. So I'm now in Texas, Houston, Texas, at Booker T School, Reality of Wrestling.
Ooh.
Good stuff.
And yeah, they're kicking my ass, man. The training, there's a lot more movement and stuff. It's different for me. And once again, I was so comfortable at OVW. I went and did my thing and it worked. So now I'm trying something different. I'm trying to become a better wrestler and still be me, the big personality that everyone loves. But my ego makes me want to be able to do both. And I think Booker T is the now breeding ground for superstars. You go in his school, he has all these flags hung up from recent people that have been signed. Roxy, his little prodigy's shining bright right now. Just moved up to the main roster and stuff. She killed it in the Rumble. So I trust Booker, and I think that if I do the work and put in the work, then he'll do the rest. So that's what I'm here to do.
Quite
That's
interesting because Zilla Fatu's still there. Is he still?
Yep.
So I mean, look, working for Booker T. Obviously, Booker T is obviously still signed to WWE. He does NXT, and they've got a lot of. Does he do LFG? He is
Yep.
on. He does. He is on LFG, isn't he? Yes.
Yeah, he's busy. He's a busy man.
He is a busy man, but it must be kind of exciting work, not just working under the tutelage of Booker T, but as you kind of mentioned, the people that they've signed, Roxanne Perez and people like that. It must give you a bit more excitement because of the fact that he is still signed by the WWE. Not that he could get you in, you still got to work your ass off to get there, right?
Right.
But
Right.
the opportunity is that they're IDing people from there as well. So it's
Mhm.
kind of putting that two and two together, coming up with working hard, getting your ass beat, but the rewards will justify it in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. And Book's real invested, even though he's, still with WWE doing that and
Yeah.
everything. When he's there at the school, he's invested and he's helping everyone and he's giving advice and it's great. And a lot of the things he says, a lot of things that Al says, but they were two different people and they did two different things. So it's just cool to have all the different knowledge coming at me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, But yeah, Book's cool. He's cool, man. And he does not take no shit. And he will let you know if you mess up or, you do something he doesn't like, he'll let you know. So I need that. I need that discipline.
You've been down there, what, 6 weeks maybe? A little bit longer now?
Almost 6 weeks, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since February 10th.
Okay.
Wow. Interesting. I have to ask, Haley, your tattoos, is there any meaning by them?
Which one?
Any of them? Any of them?
I mean, yeah, I got my family tattoo. Me and my mom have the same matching tattoos on our back. That's, for her. Uh, are you guys ready to laugh? Okay, here we go. This was this was my ex, me and my ex from the Netflix, Eric, we got King and Queen, little whatever. But I'm just gonna turn it into a card or something. It's fine, whatever. We all do that young dumb stuff. And
Exactly.
and this one on my hand, I just recently got actually right
I was
before
gonna say, I was like, I don't remember seeing that last time. So,
yeah, my last before my last match at OVW. It says trust no one, which I know is like this girl, right? And then I got some extra stuff on there, so people were like, "Oh, she's ghetto. She got a hand tattoo." I'm like, "Look, but it's girly." So yeah, and I basically just got that to remind myself because been going through some things in this wrestling thing, and you meet a lot of people and you expect them to be your friend, but you got to remember that this is a business and these are sharks. And they're all
Mhm.
trying to make it to the top. So this was just like a little reminder for me to like when I move and restart, no, don't make any friends, stay focused and worry about yourself and do you. So yeah, my tattoos have meanings. I got some flowery stuff on my legs. That's my brother's birth flowers. And then yeah, this one though, no meaning at all. It says Hollywood. That's
I love it.
that's what they called me in high school. So I was like, I thought that's what my wrestling name was going to be, but it didn't work out for me. They're like, "No, you too ghetto," and I got that, and I just, thought I was cute. And if you're wondering my plan, I want my whole arm done, and I want my whole leg done, and then I'm done. Oh, and I have this on my side. This one's a good one. Okay, it says, "Without struggle, there is no progress."
Yeah.
Remember
Tattoos are an
that.
expensive thing to like, though. I always want a
Oh,
new one. It's been a year since my last one, and I'm like, I'm getting that. Oh, I need a new one.
yeah,
Still,
so I got a couple friends who do tattoos, so that's how I'm definitely blessed. Let me just say that because they
it
are an
helps.
expensive habit. Yeah, so shout out to my girl Celia. She did this and this established in '99. That's when I was born.
Oh, you're making me feel old, woman.
Christ almighty, you're 26.
25. I'll be
25 or
26
26.
September. It's
Wow.
okay.
Yeah.
26
Yeah.
sounds crazy. You know what I can't believe? You guys ready for this? My son is about to turn 7 on March 13th, and I just cannot get over that. I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry.
Here's the
Little
thing.
little Pisces baby, same as me.
Yes,
That's
he
good.
is. And Pisces are so sweet, but he's
Mm.
also my child, so he's just like me. So
If it helps, my son turned 10 about a week or two ago.
My daughter's 21. Beat
Yeah,
that.
21. I can't even it's just crazy, time flies and he's not here with me in Texas. So of course I feel like I'm missing everything,
Yeah, I can imagine. That must be tough.
Yeah, so he actually didn't get to come to my last match at OVW, which was a big deal for me because,
Mm.
Zenon also grew up there. It wasn't just
Mhm.
me. I had him with me. Everyone knows him. Everyone treats him, like their kid.
Yeah.
So he was sick and he had the flu and he had
Oh
a fever.
no.
Yeah, so he didn't come, and then I drove the next morning, 8 a.m. My plan was originally was to leave right after OVW and just go to Texas because it's a 16-hour drive. But I waited till 8 a.m. and he was still sick, so I didn't even get to, like physically like hug and kiss my son goodbye. I was just like, that was so hard for me. Can't wait to go home and squeeze his cheeks, you know.
It
Yeah.
won't be
People like
long.
hiding. He's like, Mom's coming.
hmm Yeah, but I'm super blessed because I have a great support system. Like,
Yeah.
his granny, his dad, everyone is very helpful and they support me in my dreams and they believe in me. So they're willing to, help me as long as I'm doing what I need to do to, get to where I need to be.
And
So,
that's really important, I think, in
oh
wrestling
yeah.
to have that support system. For the
Yeah,
amount
because
of hours and days that you're on the road traveling, getting from A to B and show to show and hustling, moving from town to town, I
yeah.
think support, even for what I do over here with shows all at the weekends, and I'm up and down the country and stuff. And
Yeah,
Scotland's tiny compared to the USA, do you know what I mean? We're not traveling 16-hour road trips to get anywhere, but I'm really fortunate. I suppose now my kids are older, they're all teenagers now, but when they were a little bit younger, to have that support network around of family and friends that were able to go, right, okay, you go and do what you need to do. It's
exactly. Yeah,
really
you need
important.
that because
Yeah.
if you're not, then I would be with Zayden, working a regular 9 to 5 job, trying to make it work, which is what my mom did because she didn't have that support system
Yeah.
that I had, and she had 2 kids. So it was a lot harder on her. So I'm super blessed, and I recognize that and I understand that. So that's why I'm out here working. I'm not here for no reason. I'm be getting better. I'm gonna, eventually my number one thing is, being so freaking small. It's so hard for me to gain weight. And I know that I, have to look like a wrestler. So that's one of my big goals here is to kind of, bulk up a little bit.
Is
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is that Haley? Is that sort of now because look, I'm not going to perception of women's wrestlers nowadays. People are now looking at a more of like a Jordan Grace or yes, you know what I mean, the built kind of stuff. Is that kind of the perception nowadays? Is more so that you have to look like a quote unquote wrestler to make it
Yes.
now.
I feel like back in the day, I probably could have just got my boobs done and they would have been like, she's hired. But yeah, these days, there's a lot of athletes at the PC, hundreds of athletes. You don't have to tell them to work out. They look great, like $1 million. So, they're over there trying to teach them how to do what I do. But there's a reason behind that because, look at Charlotte Flair. She slimmed out a lot and she's really lean right now and cut up. But I don't look like I should be able to, wrestle her in the ring. And perception is everything. And I know
Yeah.
that because if I'm being honest with you guys, not trying to like, toot my own horn or sound cocky or whatever, but I have everything I check all the boxes. I have the it factor, I have the personality, I can cut a promo, I can, go do whatever you ask me to do. I just don't have the quote unquote look. And I know that. So once I check this final box, I'll become undeniable and then everyone will see me on the big screen where I'm supposed to be.
I have to say though, Fee, I mean, we've watched Haley on NWA a number of times, and we've said that how great, obviously, how great the women's division is, but how great Haley has been in that. I personally like, but for me, and this isn't just because you're talking to me right now. If I was looking for a woman in my promotion, I,
Yeah.
you've got everything, really, in my opinion. Like your ring, I mean, look, me saying your ring works great is like, doesn't really matter what I think. Obviously, I'm not a trainer or anything like that, but from what I've seen, your ring works great. Your promos are great. You've got that it factor, like you've said. I don't know, Fee. I can't see anything missing if I was choosing somebody to do it for a promotion.
No, I think, and I totally get where you're coming from, Adam. I think, though, what you'd said earlier on was right. There is seems to be a bit more of a move towards a more muscular, more built, slightly more jacked female
Yeah.
wrestlers. And you can see that with the people that are coming through, particularly like from the PC, as you said, they're all
Yeah.
athletes.
Hmm.
So I get where you're coming from. But I'm kind of with Adam, like in the UK and the independent wrestling scene, there's not so many girls or females that are jacked like that.
Yeah.
And I think generally we tend over here, we do tend to look for the ability, the in-ring ability, but also the personality. And I think for me, personality plays into it more than physique.
Oh yeah, and that's to be honest, my coach, my original coach, not Al Snow. He's big on characters and stuff too, but we gotta learn how to work. But my coach, he was big on Reverend Ronnie Roberts. He was like, just be you and turn it up to 1,000. Like
Yeah.
it doesn't matter, just go be you. You'll see, you're gonna, flourish. But also, if I'm being honest, like I can keep it real with myself. I was young, you know what I'm saying? I've been wrestling 5 years now, and I would say probably my first couple years, I still had like that street mentality that I came from. And I had to learn things the hard way, smoking on the premises, doing a bunch of dumb, childish things. I'm sure that helped play into my, my journey because one thing about me, you guys, I love to take the long road. It'll be right there in front of my face. And I'm like, nah, I just want to make it
Nah, we'll go
difficult for
this way
myself.
instead.
Yeah, so I always make things difficult for myself, but I'm learning that and I'm growing, not as a wrestler, but as a person. So I'm starting to figure it out. But those certain things are kind of hard to come back from. You know what I mean? And word of mouth, people who you know, and all that is everything. And it only takes one person to be like, no, she's trouble, and they don't want me in the locker room. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So you just so advice I can give you, young baby wrestlers, your reputation, just watch that reputation, because I am a good wrestler. And that was one of the things Booker T told me when I first got here. You know, he was like, it doesn't matter how good you are in the ring or how good you are on the mic. If people don't like you in the locker room, you won't be around. And I was like, oh, okay. I need to take a step back and realize, you know, this is a business. This isn't
Yeah.
high school or the streets. You know, this isn't any of that. This is a business, and I will treat it as such. So I had to learn that lesson too. I think
That's
that's very important.
that's true growth there, right there. That's growth.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank you. I agree. I'm like, man, people, if they would have just known me 5 years ago, even before I started wrestling, I was such like a angry, you know, just I don't know, off the rails.
Yeah,
But
the world owed you something probably. Yeah.
yeah, I had someone message me the other day, Trey Miguel. Shout out to Trey Miguel. He messaged
Ah,
me, and
for
yeah,
the
he was like,
Rascals.
yeah, he
Hmm.
was just like, I'm so proud of you. You know, you're doing your thing. You're out here moving and grooving. And I'm like, I'm confused because I'm like, what have I done? I'm not signed anywhere. Like I don't personally, you know, my goals are up here. So I'm like, I'm not doing anything. But he was like, you know, I remember when I met you at IWA and you didn't even care that you had potential. And I was like, dang, he's so right. Like I was just like, and now I care more. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
I'm taking the time, I'm making the investments, I'm doing everything I need to do versus just, you know, going through the motions because I knew I was gonna be good. I don't know how to explain that. It sounds cocky, but I knew I had a personality and like this big entertaining aspect, and I could, you know, control people's emotions or whatever. I knew that. So that's all I was worried about, but that's wrong. There's a lot more to this wrestling game, you know? So yeah, I've grown up so much. I think my pops would be proud.
I'm sure he would.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
certainly would. I want to just change the subject very, very briefly, Haley, before we get back to you. I want to talk about something that happened this weekend that kind of rocked wrestling to its very foundations. You probably know where I'm going with this, right? Did you
Yes.
ever foresee a time? Now, we know that he's been heel in the past, but after everything that he's done for the WWE over the last 15 or so years, maybe longer, did you ever think we'd live in a world right now where John Cena would be hated by everybody in wrestling?
No, absolutely not. They did their job very well. I'll say that much. And I'm over here. Look, I seen it and I was just like, as soon as he hugged him and he did the little look, I'm like, oh no. Oh no, it's going down. It's going down. John Cena, don't do it. And man, the world mad,
Hmm.
mad. Which I mean, that's what they
Yeah.
was going for. So they got y'all, but they got me too.
Yeah, it'd be interesting thing. I asked this to a promoter earlier today on one of the podcasts I was doing earlier, and I said that do you think they've done it now more so because they've got somebody that can feel the stuff with like the Make-A-Wish and stuff in Cody, that someone that can kind of take that side of what John was doing and kind of do it just as well as John can behind the scenes more than in front of the camera?
I'm sure that will work. But I also think, you know, John Cena's been the ultimate babyface for
Yeah.
ever. You know what I'm
Forever.
saying? So yeah, they probably knew like in the back of their mind, like, oh, if he ever does a heel turn, maybe it was his idea, you know, like he probably good, you know, workers. They're like, this would be really good. And, you know, yeah, I think it was genius to be honest. Uh, they got people, like you said, they got Cody, they got other people that can do all the super stuff that they need them to do. And then I'm trying to think. Well, I mean, The Rock's like the ultimate, but like he'll like I don't know. I think they knew no one would expect that, or at least he knew. I still think he had this was I bet this was his idea. I bet John Cena, it was
I
your idea, wasn't it?
I think this is him potentially going out on his terms.
Yeah.
I think potentially he wanted to go out like this. This is his final year. We all know it's his final year that he's going to retire, and I think this is how I think he probably has had a say in it, and this is how he's wanted to do it. That's my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong.
Right. Which is awesome though, because it was smart. It was so
Yeah,
smart. shocked everyone, everyone.
Yeah, well
Indeed.
and truly.
Indeed, we're not long away on NWA this week from seeing one of the history-making matches that the NWA does. And I know obviously it's a shame you wasn't involved in this particular match, but we're getting to the cage match tonight. They're showing the Markova Nieves cage match, the first time ever in the NWA. Looking at that
Hmm.
and the first time ever stuff, and we've already touched on the WWE and what the potential partnerships. Me and Fee will cover that off in a bit more detail tomorrow when we power review it. But in your opinion, with everything that they're doing right now, the first time ever cage match is now a great time to be in the NWA.
Yeah, actually, I think it's a great time for the women to be in the
Mm.
NWA,
Mhm.
period, because Kenzie and them have put in so much work that NWA, it feels, while I was there, it felt to me as if like they're gonna make some kind of switch to where it's more focused on women's wrestling. And yeah, if NWA's hitting you up, I see that they're bringing in, a bunch of different new girls too, which just tells
Mhm.
me they're testing the waters and everything. So yeah, I think now's the time. NWA is about to blow up. Um,
It's
you know,
exciting.
it is for them. I yeah, I want to go back to NWA. I just told Pat the other day, like, hey bro, what's up? But everything's business. This is a business and we gotta make business decisions. So that's my only hold up.
Well, I was just about to ask you, have you got any plans to go back? Obviously, we know that you're not under contract to them or anything like that. Have you had conversation about returning or
I did have a conversation about returning, but honestly, they they were honest and they are wanting girls that they can sign and push, I'm a kind of halfway in, halfway out type of girl just because, if it's not WWE or something like life changing for me, I just refuse to sign another contract. I signed to WoW and it was trouble, business wise. Like I'm an indie wrestler. I'm trying to go to WWE and make the most money that I can. But then I signed a contract here, even though I'm playing a different character and I'm not Hollyhood. They still want to approve dates, and you're under contract. They get first come, first serve, and that was like a little difficult for me
sure?
because I was kind of popping. The Netflix thing happened, so opportunities were arousing, and then I'm, making people mad over here. Same thing at OVW. I was making Al Snow mad, being halfway in, halfway out. He talked about it on the Netflix thing because I was going to WoW, but for me, this isn't a video game or anything. I wrestle for a living. This is my job. So I don't get to play wrestler. I don't get to go and wrestle for free or take pay cuts or certain things. I don't get to do that because I have a child to take care of. I have bills to pay. So I stand on that and people understand like NWA and everything. They get it and it's all negotiations. That's the thing. It's all a negotiation. So yeah. And numbers, numbers, it's all a number game. I got one contract I can bring, and if you're not at least trying to match that one, it's just
It's
it's
got to work
business.
for you.
It does. It really does. And I don't know. I think I just refuse to backtrack. I feel like once I got signed to a contract and my rate went here or whatever, like if it's for a good promotion, now keep in mind NWA, when I first went out there was a trial run. They weren't paying me my rate or, anything like that. You have to pay your dues and all that's fine. But there's a point in time to where you see like my value and after the trial run, that's when we start negotiating everything. And
Mhm.
um everywhere is like that. You know what I mean? But I talked to my team and the people around, and they say not to sign because once again, you sign a contract and I wouldn't be able to do Booker T's company. I wouldn't have been able to do OVW anymore. Like there's a lot of things that are taken away, and I believe Booker T, like he got faith in me. He believes in me, so I want to give him the opportunity.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I don't know. This wrestling thing is so crazy. It's really hard to like maneuver sometimes being young and uh, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
No, I get what you mean. It's got to, the contract situation has to benefit you financially. It has to benefit, you in terms of dates. And, right now, being as it's not sort of I'd say not a contract, but in a sense of them just having first dibs is a bit different to you saying agreeing to do dates. For example, WWE would say, right,
Exactly.
we need you to do 200 dates, but you're going to get a downside of X plus merch,
Exactly.
plus ticket. Yeah. So it's got to benefit you financially, but also does it have to benefit you storyline wise? You don't just want, I mean, you're not just going to go in somewhere and quote unquote job out people constantly.
Right.
Yes, there may be a point where you have to do, as you say, pay your dues. You
Pay
do
your
that.
dues. Yeah.
You do that everywhere. But there is got to come to a point where you, if you do it, or when you sign, it's not even an if, it's when you sign somewhere, that it has to be right for you long term goals and storyline wise as well.
Um, yeah, actually, that's really smart. I feel like my couple contract negotiations were numbers. It wasn't necessarily storyline. I
Mm.
didn't talk about that, but that's actually really important, for your brand and everything. So that's another thing that you should add in there, talk about. Wow, I guess I did because I didn't want to do the trucker character
Mhm.
originally. I didn't.
So you didn't
But
know, not doing that.
I did not want to do it, but my mom was involved and our good friend Jessie Bell was involved, and I'm like, you know what? I'm not gonna take other opportunities away from them. Not saying that she needed me, but it was just an easy, definite yes if we both went. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
As the mother truckers. So I'm like, let me not take this opportunity away from her. In my mind, that's my mom. It's cool that we're gonna get to be on, national TV together. Um, but my plan from the beginning was to like merge my character somehow and just tell a story, something like uh I'm a tow truck driver from Tennessee at WOW. But in my mind, I told them like, oh well, what happened was because keep in mind, WOW's already sent me to jail. OVW sends me to jail. Everyone sends me to jail. I guess I play a good jailbird, whatever. But they had already sent me to jail or whatever. So my mind was like, um, I was keep getting in trouble. I was being Hollywood, like being a hood rat in the streets. And then my mom and my aunt Jessie got fed up with it, and they took me on the road with them. And I started driving the trucks or whatever. And she made me like stay with them first, so that way I wasn't, doing whatever. And then when I turned on her, boom, Soccer Rocks comes out. Guess who does that? La Bouchetta with Batty. And I was like, I can merge it. Like I can all make it make sense for everyone. But once again, contracts, legal things, blah 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 blah. They worked with me. Wow, they did their best. Shout out to Meemaw and David McLean because they tried their hardest. They gave me my little fur hat. They gave me the fur coat. Soccer Rocks. They even let me reference, Hollywood, the Bougetto was baddie. But when I do promos for Pluto and for CBS and for actual TVs, they say Holly Swag, which tells me that Hollywood is not actually, being displayed
Yeah.
like I'm not fully her. I'm not actually building my brand. I just got to reference it and then change clothes, but I'm still Holly Swag. So it didn't work out the way I wanted it to. But I have a lot of fun at WoW, I'm not gonna lie. They got another season coming up and I'm sure they're gonna make a phone call to me soon. And WoW's awesome because their contract I did sign with them for a year, but then they do like a rollover
Yeah.
thing to where it's like, oh, if you want to come back, if you want to come back. And then I'm just like, hold on, let me see what. Okay, yeah, I'll be there. Oh, okay, yeah, I'll be there. So like, I love that they like work with me and let me do me because I have explained to David, like, if you're not going to pay all my bills, I have to continue to wrestle on the indies. Like,
Of course, yeah.
but yeah, they're awesome at WoW. Very awesome. Great company to work for.
Good stuff. We like to hear that.
Definitely.
Yeah, yeah.
So, as we start wrapping up on definitely, this isn't going to get corrupt. So, as we start to wrap up, Fee,
Ah!
I've apologized on this podcast. I kept, as I said to Heidi, I've actually literally had people saying, when is this episode going to drop? And I've had to be obviously upfront with them and say, look, we had it recorded, but it didn't, the file got corrupt. But look, Fee, I always give you this opportunity to ask the last question on the show. So before we get around to doing the promotion side of things, what's the last question you got to ask Hollywood
See, I'm
Haley?
not prepared this time, like, because I didn't think I
He
was
was
going to make
late.
this. So I'm like, damn
Yeah.
it. This is this is not okay right now. So, okay. I'm trying to remember what I asked you last time so that I don't ask the same
I
thing.
thought,
I don't
wasn't it
even
the pizza
remember.
topping? Wasn't it the pizza
It
topping?
wasn't a whoa, we did talk about pizza last time. I don't
Yeah.
want to talk about pizzas. So any one of the former NWA Women's World Champions, so anyone that has held the bark, out of all of them, which one would you cut your right arm off to step
Oh,
in the ring with?
don't make me do this.
No pressure.
Don't make me do this.
Oh, your top
Oh,
three. There you go. You can go top three then,
okay. Top
if that
three.
makes it
Okay.
easier.
Okay. Top three. All right. All right. I'm just gonna name drop. I'm just gonna do it. Are you ready? Thunder Rosa, Santana Garrett in a singles, and Camille. Which I've
Oh,
wrestled Camille before, but if it was for the Burke, it would be a more serious match. You know me, I be doing my. So I
mm.
want to actually like get down with her.
I
And
hope.
shout out to her. She's killing it with the Queen of the Ring, the movie that she just
Oh, I'm
Yes.
did. She
excited to
went
see
hard.
that.
Yeah, you'll
I
see me.
Yay! I'll get to see it in a couple of weeks. I actually saw Camille and Tom
A
two,
couple
three
weeks
weeks
back.
ago in Scotland.
Oh, did you?
Tom was over defending the World Heavyweight Championship in my home city, and
Oh,
Camille
nice.
was in over as well. So I got to catch up with them just literally for a couple of minutes after the show, but it was fab to see them both. So that was cool.
She's awesome, man. She's such a genuine person. And since I first started, I met her years ago, my first year of wrestling in Tennessee somewhere. And I remember like looking at her like, oh my God, she looks like a goddess. And she was in the locker room. I'm like, well, she's gonna be rude. She wasn't. She was so nice. She offered to watch
Yeah.
my match. Like she gave me critiques, and I'm just like, oh my God. She had the NWA title with her. I'm just like, wow.
Oh.
Yeah. It's crazy. But yeah, I'm glad that she got to do her acting thing because she's awesome. And she looks great on the screen, man. So
I'm
that's
so
pretty cool.
excited to see it.
And
But give
hopefully,
me any of those three. Any of those
Okay.
three. I think I'll have banger matches. I could have went back older back in the day, but like I want to be realistic. If I
that's
speak that into existence, then it could happen
Hey,
like
you
pretty
never
soon.
know. You never know.
you never know. We
Yeah.
never know. We hope to see Camille back on our screen soon as well in wrestling terms. Anyway, don't know what's
Yeah.
going on there, but we hope to see her
She's
back.
doing
Oh,
her acting stuff, you know?
she is doing her acting stuff, and we hope to see you soon, Haley. So, what in terms of your appearances and stuff? What have you got coming up that you can tell us on this show?
Well, I got a big show this Saturday, Reality of Wrestling. So far I've just kind of been popping up and doing what I wanted to do, kind of interrupting Miss Tiffany Nieves' matches because I'm sure you guys know I don't like her and I haven't liked her for a really long time.
Yeah, we had noticed.
So yeah, so then she wants to come into Reality of Wrestling, which is my new house, thinking that she runs the place. So no, honey, I just had to give her a little reminder. So Saturday, there's no telling what I'll be doing, but be there or be square. And then I'm back in Kentucky March 15th, not at OVW, but I don't know. Look at my mom's Facebook, you guys. I got too many. But I know I know people will be happy that I'm back in Kentucky. All this, when does this even air? I'm putting all this stuff and it's gonna not be till
Well,
later,
I'm
huh?
I'm gonna I'm gonna put it out now on Friday. So because everyone's been asking me where this damn interview with you
Video.
is.
Okay, well, yeah, just follow my social medias at Hollyhood Haley J, and you can see, keep up. I did start vlogging, so go subscribe to my YouTube channel. I've only put one video out so far. It was my departure from OVW. It was sad, so if you're ready to cry, you were talking about the girls crying. Oh, it was sad. So, yeah, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and I'm gonna start doing like more vlogs and stuff. So people, because everyone always asks me, when's Netflix not 2 coming out? When's Netflix 2? It's not. It's not coming out. I don't know. So people are interested in what I'm doing. So I'm gonna try to give that to them. But also bear with me because I suck at this. I'm doing it all myself. And I'm like, hold on 1 second. Let me get my camera out. Okay. So it's different for me with on top of like all the wrestling and stuff. It's my brain is like, wah. But I'm trying to make everyone happy and I'm trying to do what I'm supposed to do to make it to the top. So just bear with me, everyone.
We will we'll subscribe to your channel. I'm sure you'll subscribe to ours at the
Yes,
same
yes.
time. Fee, have you packed your bags yet?
No, I have not packed my bags. I'm coming to Texas, baby.
To Texas?
I'm coming to Texas next week.
Where?
I fly into Dallas and then I'm not really sure what after that. I have no plans.
Let me know, girl. I
I
think
will.
next week I'll be in Austin. They're having a couple of big shows out there.
Ooh.
And from Dallas, I don't know, it might be like 3 hours.
It's like three
Yeah.
and a half, 4 hours or whatever. I fly over on the 13th and I'm there till the 24th, 25th. So
Okay. Yeah, definitely let me know.
Absolutely, I will do that. Yeah. So
I'm
no,
in
I have not
Houston.
packed my bags yet though. It's too early. I'm not organized. I do have a show this
Me
week.
either. We packed the night before. Like, come
Yeah.
on.
I do have a show this weekend though. PBW is an Armadale this weekend, so just one show. And it's my birthday on Sunday.
Oh,
Is
happy
Woohoo! Thank
birthday.
you.
it?
Have fun, but not too much fun, okay?
No, I'll be good. I'll be good. So yeah, quiet weekend for me.
But you
Yeah.
did have your all-women show last week. How did that?
Yeah, so on Friday, PBW had Chaos in Clydebank, so all female show,
Oh,
from
nice.
top to bottom. Best attendance we've ever had in that venue. The
Oh, yeah.
girls smashed it. Oh my God, it was so good. Like so, so good. We had Rio up, we had Lizzie
So
Evo
good.
up,
So good.
We had Myla Grace, who's just
So
fresh off her
good.
tour of Japan.
Yeah.
We had Harley
Hudson?
Hudson. I was about to say Harley Race. No, that's not that. We had
That would
Harley
have been
Hudson.
incredible.
We
Harley
had
Quinn.
we had Maddie Morgan.
Oh, nice.
We had Katie Mills, Angel Hayes. Oh my God, I'm forgetting. There's other people.
A lot of people.
Oh, there's so many other people there. So it was really, really cool. That was a lot of fun. That was Friday night.
Hmm.
Saturday night main event was in Kildare, and that was a fun wee show. And then Sunday I was down in North England with W3L, and that was another good show. But it's been a
Nice.
really busy weekend, so I'm actually quite glad I've only got one show this weekend. I need to.
Indeed.
Rest,
And
relax. Yeah.
currently
Oh shit! And I forgot. When's this going out?
Friday.
Oh,
Friday.
okay. So that does that. By the time this comes out, I will have done the Inside the Rope show with Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase because that's on Thursday. And
Yeah.
then next weekend, I'm not here, but Inside the Ropes have Hacksaw Jim Duggan for 3 nights as well. And
Oh,
then we are
nice.
bringing Barrett the Hitman Hart to the UK in September. Yes.
You are.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that'll be fun. I'm looking forward to it.
I
Yeah.
was glad that you managed to get all that in because I was worried for a minute that you were going to miss. Because obviously, as a time of recording, Million Dollar Man has just finished in London,
Yeah.
for the London show for Inside the Ropes. But yes, all good fee, so you can get packed soon. Obviously, we got to do NWA tomorrow. Big thanks to RVD last week. That was a fun interview to have with Mr. Van Dam. Enjoyed that.
You did RVD? Was he smoking on the podcast?
He was not. He was
No?
not.
Wow, that's impressive.
He was not.
It is.
He had one of his. I think it was a cat. It was a bit like having a podcast with you, Fee. He had his cat come on,
I know, I
like,
forgot. Mine has not appeared tonight. I'm wondering if I've locked him outside accidentally.
well,
Uh-oh.
maybe, but we'll see because he may be back tomorrow. He might make an appearance on the
I'm
NWA
sure he will.
podcast tomorrow. Coming up on this podcast, well, we do have Gangrel coming up very, very soon. So my
Nice.
second vampire interviewed after I recently interviewed Shelly Martinez, which was great. So Gangrel will be
Oh,
coming
nice.
very, very soon. The Turnbuckle Championship with Ignite Wrestling will be on the line May the 18th. Mark True will take, well, the champion, finally back from Noah. Finally deciding that he's going to show up and defend the championship against the number one contender, Luna, who's going for her first championship at Ignite. And then in September, the trilogy, Buckle Up Free, the third and final time that we're going to be putting on our, well, say putting on our joint producing our own show with Ignite. I can't
Okay.
tell you who has signed for it on air right now because I'd get my nuts chopped off. So I will wait. I may tell Fee at the and obviously Haley at the end of the show. But yeah, I can't tell you who. But we've had some big names come in and be signed up for September. So
Oh,
make
that's awesome.
yeah, we're gonna look for that. But Haley, I will make sure that this one works this time. Thank you. Yeah, all right. I don't want to be. I don't want to be messaging you again. So, well, actually, I do want to be messaging you again, saying come back on, but in the right terms and not for this. But a big thanks to you. Good luck.
Of
We're
course.
watching you. Obviously on R is it ROW isn't it? I keep getting name mixed
Hmm.
up with Real Quality. We're watching that soon. Hopefully, we'll see a big contract coming your way as well in the future. Fee.
Hmm.
I know this goes out on a Friday, but I'm going to say this. So I'll see you tomorrow,
You will, which has really confused me if it's going
which
out
is
on Friday. So
yes, I
yeah.
know, because not only will this had gone out on Friday, the NWA show that we're about to record tomorrow would go out
Oh,
on Wednesday anyway.
I'm
So
so
it's going
confused.
to be we. So
Don't
we'd have already
worry.
put it out. by then.
I'm not
But
good at the social media stuff. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying. I'm
oh,
trying.
it's a nightmare. It's a nightmare to forget things and stuff like that. But anyway, this has been Hollyhood, sorry, Haley J. Take two on the Hitting the Turnbuckle podcast with Hollyhood Haley
Thank
J,
you.
with Fiona Lockren and with me,
Sorry.
Adam Cousins. And until next time, everybody, buckle down, stay safe, and